is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift.
Woo-hoo! I hope we've got sound. This is so fun. We've got our sound engineer, Ryan, in the house. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen on Miracle Makers on UBN Network. And I'm just so glad that you're here. Today's show is amazing. Amazing, amazing. We've got on the line with us, Miracle Makers, Lisa Haysha. She is a TEDx speaker. She's been on Amazon Prime with Soul Blazing with Lisa Haysha, and I consider her a Hollywood royalty out here, just based on all the coaching, all the work, all the things that she's done over the years here and internationally. Ryan, will you give us some applause to welcome Lisa Haysha? Lisa, I'm so glad that you're with us. It's so exciting to have you on air. Again, just on Miracle Makers, I love your work. I love what you've created. This beautiful foundation, Whispers from the Children's Heart. I love the beautiful work that you're doing with Soul Blazing. And I would love for you to just, what have I not shared about you that I should be sharing? Let's see if we've got Lisa's mic up. Lisa, Ryan is with us for the second time on the soundboard. Lisa, go ahead and say hello. Let's check.
Hello.
Hi.
Am I there?
So glad that you're with us. Thank you so much for making time. We know how busy you are and all the extraordinary things that you're up to. And you've developed Soul Blazing, and you've been coaching with this and helping so many of us in Hollywood know how to leave a legacy, how to build and share from our souls, and to have these great relationships with our beloved and with our families and with our communities. Before you came into Soul Blazing, though, you weren't always here. What was the journey for you to get here?
Well, I was born in Michigan, but grew up in San Diego. And I grew up under a Baghdad roof because my father is Iraqi. And he moved here when he was 17 or 18 years old. So the rules were so different for us, me and my sisters, compared to what they were for other regular California girls. I moved there when I was 10. So right there, I think my soul was being blazed of learning about different cultures and restrictions and how loud of a voice we can have and how women are supposed to kind of shut down and really be there for their man. And so it was a long journey of, look good, be quiet, don't be too smart, don't be too successful. Your man has to do all that. You just have to be by your man. And if you make your own money or are too successful, that means you're not successful, because that means no man was willing to support you during this journey.
Isn't that extraordinary? We grow up in different cultures, and that was the culture of maybe the 1950s, the 1940s in the United States. But growing up when you did, it was the culture under the roof, a Baghdad roof.
Yes.
I grew up in a very similar culture, and so I fully understood it. The whole thing for me was only speak when spoken to. What a man says has 4 times more value than anything that you could say. And yes. If money was involved or others were involved, you show your best face possible. In all circumstances, you just put on the best possible way that you and the family is seen. You never share anything negative. If
Correct.
Money or you're out there with the family being seen. So no dirty laundry, not talking about anything negative ever was
and
allowed.
Not even a headache or I had the flu. You never get to be sick. You never have a pain. You never nothing negative happens to you ever.
Everything is shiny, rosy, perfect, and your kids are always clean,
Yes.
and everyone's always on time doing the perfect thing. And it's so funny. But that's the culture that we grew up in. And so how did Soul Blazing get birthed? Out of that, your soul was blazing. You came to Hollywood, and you're seeing and trying on all of these different roles in Hollywood as an actress, as even producing films, that sort of thing.
Yes. I wrote and directed my first movie before I was 30 years old. And I sold several scripts before that. And I worked for the BBC producing a documentary on saving the endangered species. And I traveled to over 60 countries by the time I was 45. So yeah, but I went to Iraq after I quit acting because I did not like the business side of, this, whole world, because, I had a couple of Me Too incidences, and I had just, everyone wanted 3 seconds of nudity, 8 seconds of nudity, wet t-shirt, kissing scene, nude scene under the covers. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. So I quit at like 24 years old. I moved here at almost 23. So a year and a few months, I said, okay, this isn't going to work because this is ongoing. What else can I do? And that's when I decided to become a writer. So I wrote a screenplay, and I ended up selling it. And then that company went under. It was Orion, and they wanted 3 times the amount back. And I'm like, I can't do that. And so I was emceeing I created an MC. This was like before MC and open mic was really big. This was back in 1989, 90. And I had an agent still, but for commercials. And they invited me to go to Tokyo. They said they wanted me to go there to model. And I thought, okay, because Japan had so much money at that time. And I said, I realize I have to become a producer if I want my movie made. So I went there, and I met, of course, all these people with money, all the fashion people and business people. And, every night everyone wants to be with American models. So big social circles. So long story short, I enrolled a company to give me $1 million to do my movie called Psycho Sushi, about a woman who goes to Japan and models. Movie about LA, Tokyo, hot love and cold fish.
That is amazing. And that the journey has been so beautiful. And so you know it as an actress, you know it as a filmmaker, you know it as producing and getting money as well. And so what are you finding right now in Hollywood that's really showing up with your clients, with the people, that the CEOs and the people that you're working with? What is their biggest, what is the issue coming up right now, currently, that you're focused on and sharing?
Well, I've been very privileged because since I worked in the business before, after shooting the films and stuff, when I was in my mid-30s, I decided to go back to school and get a master's in psychology. And then with that, I started working on movie sets and working with a lot of actors and stuff, because I was so familiar with who they were, what their challenges were, and what they're going through. And then I ended up marrying someone who co-created 2.5 Men and was an executive producer on Big Bang Theory. So I was still exposed to, so many high-end successful people. So I got to pick their brains and, see how they did it, how they overcame their hurdles. So that helped me a lot. So this Sunday, I am starting a 9-month Soul Blazing Sundays program, where I selected 15 people, but it's going to be probably 17, because I'm going to make space if 1 or 2 people can't make a class or 2. It's only 5 classes from 12 to 3, then a 3 to 5 mixer afterwards, to create the sacred group where we're really there for each other and helping each other. And then from that, I am taking the same program to Zurich in August and doing another 9-month program in Europe. The workshops will actually be in Zurich, but I'm already marketing it over there and it's already full. So we're going to expand that one to 100 people and do it in a bigger space and, modify a little bit so it could still be as beneficial, but the same idea of doing 5 Sundays for 3 or 4 hours. So I might make it 5 hours over there to accommodate. And it'll be great because I'm speaking over there. I'm teaching in Dubai at a conference and now having this workshop. And I think travel is very, very important to keep your soul blazed, because anytime you get too comfortable, like I could easily stay here. I'm comfortable. I have my home. Everything's here. My daughter's in school here. Family's here. Everything's here. But if you don't pluck yourself out of that, then go, oh my God, I'm a kid again. I don't speak the language. I can't read the street signs. I won't have a vehicle. I don't know how to drive here. I don't know how to organize anything. I don't know any doctors or dentists and all these things that come up, the language.
And it creates a connection again to your center, to your soul, to have that.
It does, and you get inspired because you're like, oh my God, I've got to learn this. I've got to learn that. Everything you don't know, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know, or we forget, or we think, oh, I'm cool now. And it's like, you're not, because now you're in a different environment and you're like 10 again. So
it's one of the best ways to keep young and brilliant. And I love that you're doing the Soul Blazing series on Sundays. How amazing. And the first one starts this weekend. This Sunday. It's so beautiful. Soul Blazing with Lisa Haisha in Sherman Oaks area. Yes. And out of that, what are all the things that you've learned over the years, along with co-creating a mastermind, really? Yes,
that's what this really is too. And I am going to create, because there's about 15, maybe it's creeping up to 20 that could not get in because it was limited. And I just posted on Facebook with a few of my key friends that I knew wanted this help. So the first 15 that got in, after they were interviewed to see if they fit what we were looking for, because I needed specific people that really were ready to get to the next level, that were doers, that could keep commitments and all that stuff, because you're really having to be accountable to the 14 other group members. And if you flake, or if you don't show up, or you don't do what you say you're going to do, it brings the whole group down. So I really had to interview and see who is really ready and prepared to take on this challenge. And then I make everyone put money in a pot. And if you don't meet your goal, you forfeit your money and it goes to everyone who did. So, but what I'm going to do, since I have about 15 or 20 people that could not make this group because they signed up too late or they didn't quite fit in yet, I'm going to do possibly once a month, a Thursday night or a Friday, a mastermind get together. So I'm going to leave it open for more opportunities for other people.
That is so beautiful. Well, Lisa, thank you for being here with us and for sharing Soul Blazing and your soul. This incredible work that you're doing is life transforming. It's making peace on earth. And really, truly, you've chosen the people that can leave a legacy and create on this grand scale, on this grand stage, within their own life, and with being able to give at the greatest level. So thank you. We do take callers. Are you able to stay on and take some calls?
Yes, I have a 1 o'clock appointment. So maybe at 12:40.
Okay, wonderful. And so we'll start taking callers. And if you are watching this, we'd love for you to call in. The call-in number 323-524-2599. That number again, 323, and I love it, 524-2599. Thank you so much. Ryan, let's go ahead and take the first caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Sarah.
Good morning. I recognize this voice. Hi, dear Lily.
Hello, how are you?
We're so good. You're on with Lisa Haisha and Dr. Sarah Larsen. What can we answer for you?
Well, I would like to just say greetings to Lisa, and thank you so much for spending time with those of us that would like to swim in a fifth dimensional consciousness along with the other mermaids.
I love it. Why not?
So beautiful.
And let's see, the question is, this is my first introduction to Lisa, and I listened to what you've been doing and how you pulled yourself away from what I call Hollyweird. And I did the same thing because I felt the temptation to go in a dark direction. And I bet I didn't go as far as you went, starting screenwriting and things like that. And I've had an idea for a movie. I don't know if you remember the movie Meetings with Remarkable Men about George Asimov Gurdjieff back in the 70s.
One of my favorites.
If you've ever seen it. Yeah, mine too. And what I would like to do is a movie called Meetings with Remarkable Women.
I love that.
That's a great idea.
Fabulous. When are you going to do it?
So the premise of by being in this call, this is part of it. And that will be part of the story that will be told when I met the movie lady, the screenwriter, and the doctor, and all those kind of things. Because what I would like to do is interview the women that met the one pivotal woman in their life. Maybe it was their mother that showed them their mystical side. Maybe it was their mother that didn't foster that, so it pushed you out into the world to meet other remarkable women. And in the beginning, that's kind of a replacement for mama, but then you realize you have your abilities and you're starting to attract other women that have these same abilities, and the law of attraction and all of these kind of things start pulling together the things that your heart is really desiring, which is to be part of a community of loving beings, whether the gender is one way or the other. All of a sudden all those trappings fall off. But that's quite a ways into it. But just, honoring the women that have helped us along our path. And
Lily, who would you honor? Who would you start by honoring in your own journey? Because I think that's important.
Absolutely. I can say that very quickly. There was a woman in Los Angeles by the name of Barbara Mary Mull, and she was an amazing student of Joel S. Goldsmith, the revelator of the infinite way.
Beautiful.
And when I came, Barbara was a hidden teacher. She wrote 3 books, but you might find them somewhere, I think one of her foster daughters still has those books.
That's so beautiful. And Lily, I want to ask Lisa who she would honor. Lisa, who would you point out?
Well, one of the people I would definitely point out is this amazing, incredible woman who helped shift my life and shifts many people's lives all over the world. And her story is remarkable. And she needs to write a book about it. Her name is Dr. Sarah Larsen. I don't know if you've met her.
Yes, I was going to come to that. Absolutely.
I've already interviewed her a few times, I think 3 or 4 times. But she just is out there in the world doing so many positive things. And I know so many people who know you who just say you've changed their life and shifted their life. So you are a force and you need to be out there more. And I'm so glad you are getting out there more from what you just shared with me earlier before this call, to really start going to communities that don't have as many thought leaders and healers and coaches and really conscious people. So I really want to acknowledge you for that. And along with you, Anais Nin, I don't know if you know who she is. She was an American but lived in France, and she's an amazing diarist. She wrote diaries.
I love her work. In our bathroom hangs "Life expands or shrinks according to your courage," and that's a quote by her.
Yes.
Yes. So beautiful. And Lisa, both of you, Lisa, I would say that about you, meeting you and hearing whispers from the children's heart, and then hearing how you went to prisons. And when you were in your master's program, after you completed it, you went to prison and you sat with the toughest women and looked them in the eye And one of them said, "Oh, my soul, Lisa Aisha, you just blazed my soul. So beautiful. That work, the work that you're doing, and the way authenticity, just over and over and over again, cultivating higher levels of giving, higher levels of organization." And my dear Lily, can you see how inspiring this is? This is such an inspiring idea.
Us women, we know how to ricochet and amplify. I love it.
That's a great podcast, by the way. Terrific name. You should really run with that.
Yes.
Going today. Let's hang up and get that going.
Yes. It's so beautiful. Lily, so we love that. And how can people find you to be part of your project, working on this or sending you notes around? And will you do the podcast? Lisa's sharing to a podcast around this.
Well, that would be fine with me. Now, you do understand, Sarah, that I am in a very remote area on purpose. I am living in a place that's very much like Tibet. It's not 17,000 feet, but I'm at 5,000 feet in a secluded valley surrounded by snow-capped mountains. And this place is called the Surprise Valley. That's where I'm at. And I do want to extend an invitation to all the miracle makers to please come to this place for grounding. I moved here because of a very groovy guru that lives here. He would be the first person to say he's not a guru, but he was born here and went to Sri Lanka and became a real-life Swami. And the great thing about him, and I love the Rinpoches, I've been around the Tibetans, but this guy was born in America and he speaks really good English. Understand him real easy.
Yes.
Even though he does get esoteric. You got to have your radar on with Swami. But so I'm here, and what I offer to teachers, people that want to shift their awareness from duality to singularity and oneness in intergalactic thought, I have a labyrinth that I've created. It's a figure-8 pattern to be walked while listening to the Ho'oponopono song.
Lily, you're going to be with us in Vegas at Easter. Yeah. And so, Lily, give out your phone number so people can reach you so that they can call. Sure. It's 541.
513.
Oh, 513.
1437.
Say that one more time.
541-513-1437.
Lily, we love you so much. Yes, say it one more time.
541-513-1437. And my email is HILLISORALEE@gmail.com.
And you are extraordinary. And we'll put that in the links at the bottom. Lily is part of Miracle Makers. Literally, a bird led me to the Surprise Valley that she lives in after I was part of Burning Man. And I can't wait to share more of that story. Lily, thank you for your call. And you're so welcome. We're going to share more of it in the comments. Ryan, let's go ahead and take the next caller so we have at least one more person. Lisa's going to have to run at 12:40, so we'll take at least one more caller. Welcome, caller. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. You're on with Lisa Aisha and Dr. Sarah. Welcome.
Is that me?
It is you. Hi.
Hello. Oh, my goodness. I just love you, Dr. Sarah. And this is such a great show. I want to come to the Surprise Valley tomorrow.
And soul blazing on Sunday. It's so beautiful. We're so glad you're here, Audrey. What can we answer for you?
Well, actually, this was by surprise. I didn't expect to be on, but I do have a question about the Surprise Valley, if you could tell me. Is that over in Sri Lanka, or is it in around Burning Man in the United States?
It's in the United States. So Surprise Valley is comprised of 4 little villages, and the one that Lily Hillis is in is called Cedarville. And the Swami that lives there is called Swami KM, and he's just extraordinary. So Cedarville, California.
Is that Peter? Are you saying Petersville, like P is in person?
Cedar.
E-T.
No, like the wood. Yes, like the wood.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Well, her trajectory and your trajectory are just amazing. And I would just, yes. Anyway, thank you so much for that information. I don't want to take any more time.
Okay, well, we're so glad that you're with us, Audrey. We love you, and thank you. Thank you for calling in. Ryan, let's go ahead and take the next caller. Welcome, caller. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen and Lisa Haisha. What can we answer for you? You're on with us. Go ahead and say hello. 219. Hello. Let's see if we can get 219. Oh, we heard you a little bit. Nope. Okay, go ahead. 323 703. Hi, 703. Can you hear us? Hi, you're on with Dr. Sarah Larsen and Lisa Haisha. Welcome to Miracle Makers on UBN Network. Welcome. That one dropped as well. Okay, let's go ahead and take that one. Hi. It's hi, Lily. We're back to you. Isn't that so funny? Hi, Lily. Isn't that the funniest thing? Spirit just wants us to talk to you.
Well, darling, actually, I did have a question, and it was my first inclination to say how much you had shifted. My reality shifted just by being seen correctly. When we met and I was gifting my chocolates, I just have to say this, and you took my hand and immediately gifted me a bracelet, and away we went down to Swami's house, and all these things, I was absolutely transported into my reality. And the desires of my heart was to be seen correctly. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And being in Hollywood, what do you love about the creation process? Because this is one of the things that Lisa and I can really answer for you, the creative process. It's when you're creating the music that you're making, your soul, when it's blazing, what's that process like for you, Lily? And what questions, because I feel like this is going to be really important for you to make and build that podcast, because being seen correctly, being behind the podcast, you'll be seen all the time by those that are seeking you.
Let's see. Well, I think I'm. I've just been working with the shungite stones, and now that I have that protection from EM fields, I've been very reluctant about technology until Swami gave me those stones.
Oh, so I know Lisa and I will both have great answers for this. EMFs, and God, source, love, the universe is in everything, and it's even in the EMFs. And when you're doing God's work or the universe's work, you're protected. You're at an invincible level. I think it was Gandhi that said, a blade of grass is protected by God. And if God did not want that blade of grass anymore, there's nothing you could do to protect it. And if God wants that blade of grass, there's nothing you can do to destroy it. And so I would love for you to consider part of that shungite being a delivery from the universe, from the Swami, from God, coming to you to really share EMFs, any kind of thing cannot really touch you. And Lisa, I'd love for you to answer that as well. Whatever comes for you to share around
I think you could put up a protection. I think your thoughts create your reality. So whatever you're thinking about is what you're creating, because it creates your actions and your belief system and then your outcome. So I think if you put it out there that this will not cause this and you strongly believe it, I think you could protect yourself from a lot that's going on in the world, because we're breathing in toxic stuff, we're eating toxic things, we have toxic friends, toxic food, toxic everything. So yeah, I do believe we all are God. And if we don't want it to destroy us or hurt us, or if we want it to survive or live, it can too.
So beautiful. That if we want it to survive and live, the goodness, the invincibility, the health, the vitality within us. And I love how you frame this around your soul is bigger than your fear. Right? That's what your soul and what you're creating is bigger than your fear. And
that's
so
what my program is a soul blazing model with the imposters, because we have 8 imposters that live on the stage of our brain. After interviewing and working with like 200 people, I kind of found these patterns, and there's 8 that were consistent. And when you work from one of those, sides of you, or like little living beings that were created from whatever happened in your childhood, then you're not going to have the power that you're capable of. But once you hone in and you say, wait, I am God, and your soul is God, then you have the powers of God, could learn more, you can do more, because you believe in yourself and you magnetize like attracts like. So you start magnetizing what is positive, because that's what your whole being is immersed in.
So that your whole being, that's so beautiful. Lily, go ahead.
I have the answer to your question, which was a reflex when you asked the question, what is my creative process and what brings me joy and juice and, as you call it, mojo, and all of those descriptive words that just say, I am in touch with that I am, and that I am is in touch with all that is. And so my answer about my creative process, the very first step is always meditation. And the realization, not moving out of the meditation until the realization of all of those things that you both said are completely in place, so that I can move forward from my God, my Christ consciousness, my God particle, and not anything based in duality. There's something, I like to say to people. If they ever hear my childhood story, they start crying. And, I have no emotion, because after 45 years of therapy and 30 years on the spiritual path, I'm just fine with that.
It's amazing what source, God, universe, our stories, when we deal with them, really become healing, sources of healing for others. And being on that podcast.
And they give.
Go ahead, Lisa.
And they give you power. If you do a reframe on them, because you can never experience immense joy unless you've experienced pain. You can never have empathy and compassion for others if you've never gone through anything. So it is our learning tools, anything that has happened to us. And if we could see that, of going, oh, wow, this just happened, and go, oh, what was I supposed to learn? And don't hold grudges. Don't stay in the I'm weak, or someone offended me, or I'm hurt, or all that stuff. Just go, what did I learn from that? And then let everything else go, because it happened because you needed a learning. So take the positive, and then move on.
There was one more woman I would love to mention that actually gave me a concept. when I lived in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Lily,
early
hold on
90s.
just for a second. We're going to close out with Lisa, and then we'll have you continue talking with us, Lily.
Okay.
Hold on just
Have
for
a
a
great
second.
day, Lisa.
Lisa, we're so grateful you were with us. The soul blazing process is such a gift to humanity. Thank you for making time for us today, and I can't wait to see you again, love. Thank you.
Yeehaw!
Bye for now. Bye, Lisa. Bye. Greg, you've been in studio with us, and how are you doing, love, as you're watching this?
I'm just reading some of the comments here from our listeners. Lena says the soul is greater than anger and hatred, which is true. And if you anchor yourself in the soul, you can mitigate some of the effects of that. But if you anchor yourself in anger and hatred, ouch. That's a tough existence. So thank you, Lena, for that.
So beautiful.
And Lori Grossing said, pray for protection every day from Source. That too. I mean, these are steps anyone can do, everyone can do. Sit down, take time, pray for protection from Source. Connect with Source and ask for protection.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lena. And anchoring in that life, those stories, what you repeat in your head, what you say to yourself over and over and over again becomes physical in form. And so Lily, I'm so glad that you're here. You're now doing the sound baths in the Miracle Maker calls and in the Miracle Maker meetings that we have at Miracle Makers Academy. It's so beautiful that you called it in. And I think that I'd love for you to share what your process, what you're going through right now.
I would say that it's a detoxing of the body. Really, the application of all that I've learned that is energetically perfect for my body. And working with the shungite in conjunction with my quartz crystal bowls. That's very important for me right now.
It's very, very important. And shungite, the way that it shows up, a crystal, mushrooms, plant, nature holds the frequency perfectly. Humans can think their way out or feel their way out of Source's grace or God's grace or the universe's grace. And these natural elements created, so beautifully. And the swamis and the masters and the ancient walls and temples talk about these tools. And we've got more than just the five senses. And so, dear Miracle Makers, at any point that you're feeling stressed or you're forgetting that you're connected to Source, I would love for you to see 5 things in the moment. Like, look around. I use the color red back when I was waking up and getting myself present in the moment. Every time I saw the color red, I would use these things to be here now. 5 things that you could visually see. 4 things that you can physically touch. Your body can't be anywhere outside the moment. It's so beautiful. And then 3 things that you can hear. So right now in studio, I can hear my husband. Baby, what do you want to share?
You know what? Actually, because it's so funny because I perceive Lena as a teacher, so I thought she was teaching, but she actually asked a question. She wanted to know, is the soul greater than anger and hatred?
Oh, that's a great, and Lena is an extraordinary teacher.
Yes, it's so funny because I see her as a teacher. It's like, oh, she's giving us some wisdom. And so,
yes.
and she is giving us wisdom by asking this question. I would love to hear your answer. Yeah.
So our one soul, when we're disconnected from the whole soul, and it's so funny, we can't be disconnected, but we perceive we've turned off the listening within ourselves. when you turn off the listening from the great nature that you're part of, the great consistency. I love how Oprah described God. Oprah said God is law. And there's so many laws that we know about and so many laws that we don't know about. And just because we know about them or don't know about them doesn't mean they're all not working. When we're angry, when we're hurt, when we're in fear, we've disconnected from a great law and started listening more closely to the hurt, to the fear, to the anger. We've closed ourselves off, and we can often go in a down, like there's a bottomless pit that you can go into when you're hurt or when you're angry or when you're in fear. When you start breathing and your breath is connected, and if you just breathe, that bottomless pit can be can be stopped and connected to the flow once again. Willingness to just share with another human being, this is what I'm authentically going through. Or getting out in nature, physical hugs, hugging, using your mind's eye to think of and to feel something that brings you peace, joy, or love are all ways that you can get out of disconnection and get reconnected. Only humans, only we can knock ourselves out with our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs from quote unquote God's law or the universe or the flow that can happen through us. By deep breathing, by a deep listening for our breath, we can reconnect ourselves, which is really, really beautiful and exceptional. Such a gift to give. Baby, and callers, the call-in number is 323-524-2599. 323-524-2599. And I love having you here with me, Lily. I love that Audrey was on the call today as well. In the Miracle Makers Academy, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This week, this Sunday, we are teaching how to write your book in 3 weeks. Audrey has written a lot of books by pseudonym, 25 books or more that she's self-published. And she's a miracle maker in the Miracle Makers Academy. And she's giving this gift to share all the wisdom she has. She's gone from an idea to a book in 3 weeks that wound up in her hand. This is a gift that I want to give myself. It's a gift that I want to give you. So this Sunday, as part of Miracle Makers Academy, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., Audrey Bruckner is teaching that course. And it's so beautiful, just so easy. The difference that you can make from publishing your work. Imagine if Gandhi had never published. He would have never been found. He published in the newspaper, published in books. You are the authority. Each one of you listening are the authority of what's inside your miracle frequency. And this ability to write it down and share it is such a gift. Anything that you want to add, Lily?
I did want to say that I was really grateful when Lisa was sharing about you can't have pain without, it's the yin yang that eventually the pendulum swings from good to evil until you can find that fulcrum middle point. And at one point in my journey, the idea of not learning from pain only was so foreign to me that when Joanne Reese Ellinger asked me the question, she said, "Lily, are you ready to learn from joy?" I burst into tears. It was such a foreign concept, that old religious conditioning, the flatulante, if I don't, la la la, all of that stuff. that was the programming from childhood and the religious conditioning of lifetimes, and a little bit of alien influence of my poor mother, bless her heart. You know, there was a little bit of a plan in advance about my life. I could get into that later, but with you. But anyway, the idea of learning from joy, and that's what I found with you, Sarah. And when you spoke of Greg, and when you spoke of your children, Jasmine and Taylor, I saw this, you know, flicks of incredible golden white light coming out of your eyes. You know, your heart chakra was so big when you would mention them. It was just awesome. And there's a time when I would have been envious of that. Oh, I didn't have children in this lifetime. I didn't do this, or wouldn't that be nice to have that? And there was none of that. I was so joyful for your joy. And I did learn that through Tibetan Buddhism. You know, to be happy for other people's happiness is very important. And I want to say you're a master at that, girlfriend. You really are.
Well, this is so important. It's so important. On a subconscious level, you can't attract into your life what you're not, if you hold any resentment in any area. And so, Lily, it's so beautiful that you shared that, and that you were so master teachers are able to share that I once was this way, but today I am this way. And at every point, I think humanity is waking up from this, where we thought limiting another from getting what they wanted because there was a zero-sum equation in the universe. Like this false belief that if someone has a little bit more, I'm going to have a little bit less. And it was programmed into us at a very young age. And so many of us have to unlearn that. When we see beauty and joy and love and grace in another, to really celebrate it and to bring it out more, to light it up to the greatest extent that you can, as a way of bringing, as casting out the shadow from your own soul. Active steps of doing that. And Lily, I'm going to give out your number again, 541-513-1437. Lily has been part of Miracle Makers Academy. She is offering for anyone who calls her at that number, 541-513-1437, great guidance right now. And as part of the Academy, she is coming in to co-teach at the 5D event that we're hosting in Vegas, in Las Vegas, at April 19th, 2019. And we've only got a couple more minutes, baby. Anything you want to add?
Well, you just are so beautiful.
Everyone always.
Yeah, just like both Lisa and Lily have said, it's just like you are such a remarkable, giving, joyful, heartfelt presence. I'm so grateful for that, and so grateful that you're in my life in such a powerful way. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm grateful that we get to do this together, all of us, that are, you know, that you're working from your one soul when there's more energy coming in. What the way that you feel when you're in love, but the way that that's the highlighted way that you feel when you're coming from the one soul. Colors are brighter. The way that you feel and hear things is connected to a deeper source. And it takes time to build that muscle. And the beauty about building that muscle is the more you work on it, the more it gives to you, the more you experience it, more you are you and can play all the notes within your soul. Lily, I love you so much. Thank you for being on this show with us today.
I love you so deeply. There are no words to express it.
And we're looking forward to, Greg was asking, is Lily still coming to Los Angeles?
Yes. When's Lily coming? I want to meet her.
Oh, I avoid that place. I'm sorry. You're going to come up to the desert.
Yes.
on, dude. You can make it up there.
That sounds remarkable too. Yes.
Yes, we will come.
Bring the kids.
We'll come.
We'll go to the hot springs. It'll be nice.
Yes.
I promise.
Thank you so much. Love you so much, Lily. Lily Hillis. On this segment of Miracle Makers, Lisa Haysha with Soul Blazers.
Yes.
What a gift it is to have her on. If you haven't seen her TED Talk about the imposters, it's really, really good. She goes in and she shares. It's so entertaining. TEDx Talk, Lisa Haysha on You Are an Imposter and So Am I. She's also on Amazon Prime. Soul Blazing with Lisa Haysha. It's brilliant. So many interviews and so many stories shared in there. Happened to be one of the great stories that was shared in there as well. Thank you, Miracle Makers, for being part of this show. And we'll be back next week. Baby, anything you want to add?
Love you, Miracle Makers. Keep shining your light. That's one thing we in the Miracle Makers Academy. The very first lesson is, don't arrest your light. Let your light shine. Do not arrest your light. Let your light shine.
Let your light shine. Let others' light shine. We love you. Bye for now.
The past is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift.